AKAPADers. Welcome back to it. It's the AKAPAD Film Buff podcast. I'm your host, Peter A. DeLuca. My goal is to bring you every single movie I have ever seen. Will I meet that goal? Stay tuned to find out. So, we have an Amazon movie today, Holland 2025. Every time I record this intro, because I've done a few already, I question, do I have to make an Amazon Prime pun? Like, do I have to say that this movie delivered comedy and thrills, or delivered or dropped off a wonderful performance from Nicole Kidman? All that is true, by the way. So let's just get through this intro, because we got, we're going to play the intro and we're going to get back to business. Stay with me. Let's hang out.
Quiet on the set!
Camera speed, sound production, take one.
Action!
This is her second movie. She's a skillful director. This movie has a tone very similar to Flesh starring Sebastian Stan. We spoke about Flesh. So, this is one of the few filmographies that's complete. We've discussed every single film by Mimi Cave. What I said during Flesh when we discussed that movie, that's also available on Hulu. I implore anyone to go check it out. Solid movie, solid experience. She has a blend of comedy and horror. And in this movie, we have this like perfect Holland town. Nicole Kidman is the perfect wife in this town, and she slowly starts to uncover something about her husband. This film is a little bit of a farce. It's not so much like a Fish Called Wanda. It's like Fish Called Wanda, but toned down. But it's fun to see characters who want to play themselves serious kind of stumble and bumble and bump into one another throughout the process of their discovery. We get some horror. Her husband is revealed is a spoiler alert. He's a serial killer. And that whole scene, that scene where we discover that, is the height of what Mimi Cave can do, because we go from, again, like a farcical comedy to a deadly serious moment, a moment that we know has consequences. And guys, I know we do talk about spoilers here, but that scene is pivotal in the ability of what Mimi Cave does with the narrative. Because up until that point, we're not held under like any threat, like audience wise. Like we don't have any close calls, we don't have any near misses. There's nothing to tell the audience that this is now serious and people can die. When the story pivots that way, it is something rare and it's something to admire. We have to give a lot of credit to her husband, Matthew McFadden. We know him from Succession. He's Tom from Succession. He's the one that won Succession. Another spoiler there. But no, AKAPADers, this is a complete movie. It has a wonderful through line. Here we go. Pal Pekataski. This is our cinematographer. This movie sings with his lighting. I did enjoy this movie a lot. I recommend this movie. I think it's a great Friday movie. But it's also, I think the tone of this film, it really brings me back to a lot of those farces, and which is kind of weird because they called Enora a farce, where when she gets kidnapped and it's somewhat farcical. Not so much. This movie for me is that if we look this movie up on Wikipedia, Wikipedia classifies this movie as a psychological thriller, which it's not that. This movie has moments of doubt where the characters don't quite know what's happening and they keep pushing and they keep pushing. It's more of a quest. It's more of a journey. And because it's a quest, because it's a journey, we have Nicole Kidman discovering things about herself, and she pulls in a love interest that's played by Gael Garcia Bernal, and he's fantastic, and he plays a true opposite of her, where she gets more and more confident with her digging. He gets a little bit more and more doubtful, but we do see them falling in love. We do see them developing feelings for one another, and he develops the tone of getting involved because he's got feelings for her, and all of this stuff is played out, and all of this is in the backdrop of this town and these tulip festivals and all of these things. Nicole Kidman, I would be doing a disservice if I didn't mention that I question the work she has done on her face. I just feel they say the new generation ages like milk. I know Nicole is of the previous generation. I don't know what's happening with some of these conversations where these actors and actresses where they destroy their faces, and I know Nicole Kidman can probably afford the best people in the world at this, but to me, Nicole Kidman was always beautiful enough just to let the girl age. Is she expressionless? And that's the point I'm getting at. I would say yes, but her acting, like what she does, her performance comes through the non-expression. And it's tough because we have to make those comments. We have to drill into what can take us out of the movie. Is it ageism? Is it a lot of these horrific things, practices when it comes to casting and staying relevant? These are, the reality of some of this stuff. I think a lot of critics and a lot of film goers aren't aware of. Hopefully that's why you listen to the AKAPAD Film Buff podcast, because I do try and get into some of the cracks and the crevices that a lot of people don't. But with all of that, I was very impressed with Nicole Kidman. It does make me want to see Baby Girl. I think Baby Girl drops on HBO Max later this month. But this movie, it's totally fun. It's almost like a little bit of a Bo Welsh movie. Like, there's just hints and flows and tones of like a Men in Black or an Addams Family, where it's not quite so silly, but equally not as serious as it's serious at the same time. There should be a classification for this type of tone for a film. Maybe we'll define it for the Film Buff podcast. That could be an episode of itself, but this movie's great. I enjoyed it. I think it's a great Friday movie. Get yourself some popcorn. Check it out tonight. Love you guys. Rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap.